very good evening to you and welcome to Tynecastle Park. We were here this afternoon to watch the Scottish Cup semi-final between Dundee and Dundee United. Now, I was listening to Billy Bremner this morning, and he was talking about the atmosphere surrounding Cup semi-finals. He took part in 6 of them. Okay, they were in England, but the general point he was making is that because teams are so near, yet so far to the final, they don't want to let the supporters down, themselves down, and thus they're very anxious indeed. They don't want to lose, they're fearful of losing, and therefore the games tend to be rather negative. Well, I can assure you that you're about to see a game that utterly dispels that theory. I can say in anticipation it's the best Scottish Cup semi-final I recall seeing. So, without any further ado, let's dip into the atmosphere.
Well, the crowd is bigger than I think some of the pessimists thought, and there in the middle is the little blob from this length anyway of the referee. Not so little now, it's the figure, and I hope he does turn round to camera to let us see his face, the local man, George Smith. And that special atmosphere about a Scottish Cup semi-final. Both sets of supporters making a tremendous din, and that is a free kick. Barely 10 seconds gone, and I think you've got an indication immediately of the kind of attitude that Dundee have adopted. They realise that this is a wonderful opportunity for them to go beyond the great rivals and get to the final, and I think John Brown rightly being cautioned by the referee, not booked, but just a little word in his ear. Jim Duffy, and I think he was pushing. Duffy, that remarkably cool defender, played outstandingly well against Aberdeen last week. Derry will take this. Pitch looks kind of soft then. Slight misjudgment there by Hegarty. That's Paul Sturrock. There was a slight doubt about his fitness for today, but there he is. Large as life. Slight misjudgment on Neri. Coyne can't take advantage, but it is a corner kick. And a very accomplished and experienced defender showing slight nerves there. Rafferty with it. And there's the first touch for Ferguson, but back in a defensive position. Rafferty. Nice touch back to Forsyth. Dundee showing the right spirit immediately. Well, the way Dundee launched that first attack, it was quite clear that part of the plan is to try and unsettle United. Because if United get into the groove, they are very difficult to disturb and penetrate. Fighting for everything. And too hard again. Free kick to United. David Neri right in the middle of the pitch, and he's going to be a key man this afternoon. Bannon. Smith. Long one through to Coyne, the ex-Dundee United player. Good backing up by Dundee. There's a run through by Coyne. And Billy Thompson's there. And that is the third time that Dundee have pierced this United defence. Somehow or other, holes have appeared in what is usually a very solid and confident lineup. Good challenge there by Bannon. Holt. Giving it width. Bannon wanted to take Forsyth on. Just kept it in. He did well to get that across, and there's Ferguson. Oh, full marks to Eamon Bannon. Forsyth very close to him, and look at the way he did that, just kept it in play. And from that very awkward angle, putting it across for Ferguson's header. No chance of scoring against Geddes, but I think Bannon gets the credit for that move. Hegarty. There's McKennelly. And we're seeing much more of Dundee United now. And you'll notice McInally coming into this very good position, quick as a flash, but a bit too straight. Well, look at that very good crowd in at the back. They have turned up. Look at that. That's the United support. And it's just as thick, perhaps even thicker, at the Dundee end. Malthus. That's Forsyth. Good run by Forsyth. Down together, they've grown! And it's brilliantly touched away. Shannon with a shot. Magnificent goalkeeping, and Dundee really ought to have been in the lead there. Great header initially by John Brown, ripening it in as he did last week against Aberdeen. This time it didn't reach the net. The follow-up by Shannon, bulleting it in, brilliantly touched away. And that's just off the line again. And push-past by Thompson. And just as well, the big man recovered from that injury. And listen to the Dundee support. A goalkeeper under pressure, if ever there was. Instinctive save to start off with. And then that awkward little leap there from the ground. Corner kick. Woods getting through this United defence. They are not picking up the cross ball. 3 corners in the space of a minute. They really do look dangerous in this situation. Rafferty again. Bit of breathing space. Yes, that'll be a free kick. Challenged there by Bowman. McKinley. There's John Brown, and it's just touched back. Brown is very effective when he comes forward like that. He's almost a hidden figure, and then suddenly gets into the penalty area with quick spots. No free kick. Loose ball though. Here's Holt. John Holt, a good run by Holt. He always does that very well. Here's Ferguson. There's a shot. Oh, brilliant goal! Oh yes, Ferguson at his very best. Somebody once said to me about Ian Ferguson, he doesn't score ordinary goals, they're all smashes. Well, that one was certainly in that category, and coming at a time when Dundee was certainly beginning to dominate. And look at this. That is clinical finishing. McKinley. Oh, he'll gobble them up. No, referee wending play on, a good decision. Rafferty can run the outside. It must be. It's equaliser. Coyne. The ex-Dundee United player. What a paradox. The two players who played for both clubs getting the goals. And that was a very well-worked equaliser. The big fullback augmenting the attack. And look at that, neatly laid back there by Wright. Rafferty getting the chance, and Coyne making no mistake. Straight to McKinley. McInally pushed there, yes. I think he got a hand in the face as well. There's Sturrock trying to go for that. McInally is still down, and here's Hegarty. Malthus. Oh, there's a bit of play off the ball, and I think Hegarty took one in the face. Here's Nenny. It's getting very rough. Now Bowman. The 1-2 doesn't come off. There's Bannon, and now Brown. who are a bit too late in putting it forward. Rafferty. Coyne in a good position if he can cross it. He does. It must be. It's in. Right, I think, getting the final touch. A quite astonishing 2 minutes of football, culminating in that goal that gives Dundee the lead. Taken there by Rafferty. McInally was lying on the turf. A superb ball here by Coyne. And both Jack and Wright were there. They'll probably both claim credit. I'll give it to Wright. And Dundee are in the lead. Shannon. And there goes the half-time whistle. A quite remarkable first half. I thought this would have been a very narrow game, maybe only one goal in it, something like that, perhaps no goals at all. And to the delight of everybody here at Tynecastle, we've had a splendid cup tie. That goal by Ferguson is the sort of goal that should have inspired his side, that opening one. Brilliantly taken, but all credit to Dundee for the way they fought back. The determination of Coyne getting on the equaliser, and then that well-worked goal with two Dundee players going in for the kill. I think Wright getting the final touch. Dundee now, to the great delight of the huge support, a very big support they have here, are now in a vital lead. Well, there's the start of the second half, and I must say full credit to both sets of supporters for turning up here. It really is a remarkable semi-final. Been a lot of controversy about bringing the game to Tynecastle, but as I said, a really marvellous crowd, and the game has lacked nothing in atmosphere. And the one very important aspect of the afternoon is that the Scottish Cup still has continuing strong appeal. That's the weak ball, McInally. Bowman. Just about a yard away from that. And there is Jim McLean on the right of the picture on the intercom, giving his assistant manager the instructions. Back up there by Redford. There he is again. To McInally. That's better play by United. Sturrock, the favourite position of his. Yes, more like Sturrock, a good chip. Bowman! No penalty. Came off the chest. He's looked dangerous on the ball though, Sturrock again. And he goes out wide and then cuts in, as Barcelona and Borussia have already experienced. McInally trying to follow up. It's a battle for midfield again. I think United will get the free kick for that. As I said, a battle for midfield again, and that's why it's a kind of austere part of the game at the moment. Malpass teeing it up. Bowman tries to go in, a great chance for Bowman, and Ferguson, his second and the equaliser. And that could not have come at a better time for United, with 9 minutes of the second half gone, and that's the scoreline. They're back in business. Coolly taken, by the way, by Ferguson. A real mistake here in that defence, by the way. Out they came, I think perhaps playing for offside. McInally was there, dabbing it forward, and unselfishly pushed to the side for the striker to make it 2-2. Sturrock. Free kick. Just about 20 minutes of the second half gone. Free kick. The entire Dundee team are in there and they can't stop Hegarty. (3-2) for Dundee United. And the United captain rising above them all. Well, that was a superbly hoisted ball right across a congested penalty area. Redfoot was after it, and so was Hegarty. And in it went, off the United captain. Oh, look at McInally. That is how good he's been this season. Closing down players quickly, getting possession, setting players away. McInally. Ferguson. Bad slice there by Ferguson. Brown fouled. Awkward tackle that time by McInally. Now what can Dundee make of this? They've really made no inroads into this defence in the second half. They've really got to try and take advantage of a dead ball situation. "13 minutes left. Brown might have a go, and he does, and that's brilliantly saved. A superb save, a great international class. Look at the cover on the ball. It may well have taken wood, but Billy Thompson was making sure. Brown again. Sturrock slow in taking off, and that will be a free kick, yes. And rightly the referee warning him for that. Oh, look at this attack. McInally pounding through the middle. There's Sturrock. Bannon. McInally. Bowman. Now McInally. Sturrock. Oh, they made a mess of that. They had totally outnumbered Dundee in that counter-attack. But they laboured it. No, he's getting down on players. Maybe not as effective in the first half, but he has been in the second. Well, Jim McLean, who normally sits in the stand, has now come down to the dugout. I think he's beginning to realise that his players can win this, having been behind. Bobby Glennie. Oh, and he slipped. Here's Ferguson. It's 3 against 2. Oh, a wasted effort. They really should have killed Dundee then. Bad ball by Ferguson. However, 2 goals to his credit. Sturrock might just get this, but there's nobody inside. And does the obvious thing, gets a corner kick. 5 minutes left, which steals a little time for United. Yes, Holt, Hegarty, and I think the Dundee players were looking away across to the linesman as the Dundee United captain was straining every muscle. Look at that there as he came across, but it was a goal kick, no offside. The side. Right. John Brown. Brown. We did well to get that in. It's going loose, and there's Thompson. Four minutes left. Ferguson pressurising Glennie, and too much. Free kick. Words of condolence, perhaps. Well, there's a run through, and there's a lot of pulling going on there. I think they were pulling each other, but Dave Nenny most of all. And I think if Wright had gone away, that would have been the equaliser. It was that vital. John Brown. Can he save his club? Oh, it's almost there. He almost did it. Another superlative save there by this big Dundee United. And look at that again. Brilliantly taken, and there was a touch. Last fling by Dundee. Rafferty whipped away, and this is a marvellous finish to this match. Not only have we seen some excellent outfield play, some good goals, but some astonishing goalkeeping from Billy Thompson. What more can you ask for? McInally taking his time about it. That was not a good pass. Now Duffy, he's come up. Oh, it goes through well, and there's Billy Thompson. And the anguish written all over Dundee now. And there it goes, the final whistle. United have got to the final by 3-2, and their delirious supporter way down at the far side. There they are. Sheer delight in Tangerine. And I think he will go down to the United support. I'm sure he will. The man who got that winning goal with delight written all over his face. Condolences there for John Brown, and United greeting their supporters rightly, who have come down, as I said, to Edinburgh despite all the controversy, backed them up, and now together they'll be at Hampden on May 16th.
What absolutely marvellous entertainment, a game confounding many of us, including myself, who thought it might be a bit cautious and negative because, after all, they know each other so well and they've played each other frequently. But today, outstanding individual performances. If I go to the defence first and talk about Billy Thompson, his goalkeeping was right out of this world. And yes, I think Dundee United, at the end of the day, deserved to win for the way they transformed themselves in the second half, came out, took the game by the scruff of the neck, and dominated in midfield. Excellent performance by Paul Sturrock in the second half. He had been rather quiet and muted, and then he came on to that piercing, penetrating game of his, which means so much to Dundee United. But Jim McLean, very appropriately at the end, paid credit to Dundee for making a real game of it, and I suppose I would have to echo him in saying it's a pity that somebody had to lose. So one of the great fears, I thought, of many people was, would Dundee United be rather tired after that midweek game against Borussia Mönchengladbach? And that's the very point I put firstly to Eamon Banham.
Well, I don't really think so, actually, because of the importance of the game itself. It was a semi-final, the Scottish Cup, and everyone was looking forward to it so much. It wasn't really a problem. I didn't hear anyone mentioning it after the game, or before for that matter.
Now, semi-finals usually, or can be, very negative, very defensive, you know, teams scared of losing. This was the very reverse of that. Were you aware of that yourself, that you were playing in one of the best semi-finals I've ever seen?
Yes, we've had a few good games against Dundee, a lot of goals scored. And what happens if one team manages to score, that changes the whole pattern of the game, and we managed to score against them, and then they came at us and they scored, and then they scored again, and then we chased the game, and that creates an exciting game.
Whatever happened to you in the second half? It was a totally transformed United side. You were 2-1 behind, and then you took over.
Well, we went in at half-time and really you know, 2-1 behind, we said, well, we've just got to really get on with it. And we came out and really got torn about them, I thought. Managed to get the goals that were required, and really they were very subdued, I thought, the second half.
I thought Paul Sturrock had a very significant game in the second half.
Yes, a totally different game in the second half. He was very positive, had a very good game, I thought, too, yeah. Attacked their defence a lot.
Yeah. Were you worried about the fact that you were favourites for this game and that you have such a good record against Dundee?
I never usually like to be favourites. You know, we've been in so many cup semi-finals and finals, and we're always a team that's tipped to win it, and unfortunately we haven't won it before. So I prefer to be the underdogs, but anything can happen in a cup tie, especially it's a derby match as well. So I was delighted to get through.
Well, obviously this game will be remembered for the 5 goals, but think of the goalkeeping. I think Billy Thompson saved your bacon, didn't he?
The second one, the one just before full time, was a fantastic save. I think everyone thought it was in. I certainly thought it was in, and he managed to claw it out with his fingernail. I don't know how he managed to do it. It was a tremendous save, and that's.
Well, he did it on both sides. I mean,
he done it on both
saved
sides, yeah.
to one side, saved to the other side.
Yeah, I thought the second save was actually better because that one was definitely going in. I thought the other one might have just hit the post or went by the post, but that definitely changed the game.
Now, of course, if I said to you, "Can you win the cup?" you would say yes. But on the other hand, people are now going to say, from now until May 16th, Dundee United can't do it at Hampden Park. They've had the opportunity in the past. They're simply not winners in that sense. How would you react to that?
Well, I'd react to that by saying we've been burying hoodoos all season. We were always a team that was never renowned for coming from behind, for instance, when we went a goal down. We've done that today. We've been a team that's been accused of not being able to win in the big atmosphere, and we've done that in Barcelona. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't win at Hampden, whether it's against Hearts or St Mirren. There's a definite feeling in the camp, there's a different atmosphere, and we've put hoodoos behind us, and I'm sure we can do it.
Dundee United, who have never won the Scottish Cup, of course, in their 4th final, and they will be playing on May 16th. St Mirren, who beat Hearts by 2-1 in front of a 30,000 crowd. Ian Ferguson getting the first goal for St Mirren on the half-hour. Equaliser by Gary Mackay with 15 minutes remaining. And then that old warhorse, Frank McGarvey. He's done it so often, getting the winner, and a deserved winner, apparently, just before the end. That's 2-1 for St Mirren. So it's Dundee United, St Mirren, Scottish Cup final, May 16th. And, of course, BBC cameras will be there to give you live coverage. And I said, and have been saying for a long time, the Premier Division Championship race is going to go to the last kick of the ball. And Celtic, I think, proving that at Easter Road today. There were a goal down in 3 minutes. The ex-Celtic player George McCluskey scoring in 3 minutes, and then McAnally. Johnson scoring his first goal for 2 months. McStay, McClare made it 4-1. And that means they have exactly the same number of points as Rangers now. Only 4 goals of a difference. That is Rangers superior by 4 goals. But, of course, Rangers with a game in hand. And that game in hand will be played, I'm sure, at a packed Ibrox on Tuesday night against Dundee. Which brings me back to today's semi-final. Now, I know it's difficult to lose any game. It is particularly sickening to lose in a Scottish Cup semi-final. And I know how the Dundee supporters feel. But then take the other support, Dundee United. Sometimes they've been criticised for not being big enough for a club like United themselves. But they are loyal, and they made their presence felt today, as Paul Hegarty acknowledged in a very appropriate way right at the end. They go to Hampden Park along with St Mirren supporters on May 16th. From all of us here, good night.